Good evening and welcome to tonight's news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The State Council submits to His Majesty the Sultan the draft law of value-added tax. His Excellency the Minister of Health announces 256 new COVID-19 cases and point out that 60 to 70% of the government employees will be allowed to go back to work. And His Excellency the Minister of Health emphasizes that Oman has joined the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunizations. Good evening and once again welcome to Oman latest news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The State Council submitted to His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq the draft law on value-added tax with the opinions from both councils after endorsing the Joint Committee report on disputed articles. During its sessions today, the State Council reviewed the Secretariat General's report on the Council's activity. The session was headed by Honorable Dr. Badriya bint Ibrahim Shahia, the Vice Chairman of the State Council. His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Saidi, Minister of Health, announced 256 new confirmed cases of COVID-19, which brings the total number registered in the Sultanate to 86,380, including 705 deaths. He added that the overall number of people recovered from COVID-19 reached 81,828 cases, exceeding 94% of the total number of COVID-19. Currently, 383 patients are hospitalized, including 144 patients in intensive care units in public and private healthcare institutions. His Excellency stressed that the pandemic continues and no country can pretend that the virus is losing momentum. His Excellency pointed out that some countries have taken action to reduce preventive measures based on the noticeable drops in the number of infection. However, the outbreak re-emerged after lifting the ban on social and sports activities, pushing such countries to reissue the closed-down order. His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Saidi, Minister of Health, pointed out that 60 to 70% of the government employees will be allowed to go back to work depending on the requirements of the head of the government unit. His Excellency cautioned that any activity that lead to gathering must be banned and avoided, as it will contribute to the spread of the virus. His Excellency also pointed out that the country takes all measures to minimize the mortality rate and that wearing masks must remain a top priority to maintain, in addition to social distancing and washing hands on a regular basis. His Excellency stressed that until this moment, there is no available vaccine for COVID-19, hoping that the manufacturing companies would able to arrive at suitable cure soon. His Excellency Dr. Ahmed Al-Saidi revealed that Oman has joined the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization, Gavi, together with World Health Organization, and made arrangements with the manufacturing companies to acquire the immunizations. His Excellency said that until this moment, there is no second wave of pandemic, but that depends on people's commitment to measure, pointing out the infection cases are fluctuating, but the drop days are more than increased days. His Excellency thanked the citizens and residents for their commitments to prevent measure calling that important weapon against the pandemic. The minister also thanked all people working in private and public health sectors, revealing that primary health care serving, including immunizations, was not impacted by COVID-19 measures and guidelines. His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Saidi pointed out the ministry formed a working group to follow up with updates on available immunizations from manufacturing companies and countries' leaders. His Excellency urged the youth to contribute in raising awareness by refuting pushing misinformation on COVID-19, which undermines credible information revealed by competent authorities. From his side, Dr. Saif bin Salim Al-Abri, Director General of Disease Surveillance and Control, affirmed the stability of the number of affected cases in the Sultanate and the decrease in the number of positive cases of tests from 50% to 15%. He pointed out that the ministry is working to increase the accommodation on capacity of hospitals for the affected cases and to equip the isolation units with all requirements. He added that all hospitals are equipped with isolation room as per international standards to take care of coronavirus COVID-19. Dr. Hamad bin Mohammed Al-Harthi, director of Al-Nahda Hospital, stressed that the hospital has accommodated a great number of COVID-19 patients. He pointed out that the number of admitted patients had decreased by 50%. He added that the emergency ward was divided into 2 units, one of them for COVID-19 patients, in addition to other 3 separate units for them. With you is the Sultanate of Oman Television, and later to come in our news bulletin. The Sultan takes part in the Global Scientific Contest First Global Challenge. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. And now for the international news. A Syrian opposition war monitor said airstrikes on eastern Syria believed to have been carried out by Israeli warplanes have killed 16 fighters. The Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said today's strikes hit positions of the fighters near the towns of Mayadin and Bokamal, close to the Iraqi border. There was no official comment from Syrian state media, which reported an airstrike late yesterday on the T4 air base in the central province of Hims. The Afghan government said today it had released 400 Taliban prisoners under an exchange deal with the militants, except for a few opposed by foreign nations, and expected peace negotiations to start soon. The two warring sides have grown closer this week to launching direct talks in Qatar, tying up the end of a contentious and months-long prisoner exchange. Kabul has already sent a logistical team to Doha, where the Taliban's political office is based. Paris and Canberra made protest over the release of the militants because of their links to the murders of French and Australian civilians and troops in Afghanistan. The prisoners' exchange agreed between the US and Taliban stipulated that Kabul should release a total of 5,000 militants in return for the insurgents freeing 1,000 Afghan troops. At least 2 people were reported killed and thousands were temporarily without power as Typhoon Maisak smashed into the Korean peninsula today, bringing heavy rain and lashing winds to areas still recovering from Typhoon Bavi, the 9th typhoon of the season and the 4th to hit the peninsula this year, left about 120,000 households without power across South Korea. Flights were cancelled or delayed, and downed trees and other debris caused light damage, Yonhap News Agency reported. 1 person died when winds shattered a window in South Korea's second largest city of Busan, which bore the brunt of the storm's 170 kilometers per hour winds. Another man in the city was found dead, believed to have fallen from the roof of his house while repairing a leak. The peninsula typically sees only one typhoon a year, but another typhoon, Haishen, is brewing south of Japan and is expected to hit the Korean coast on Sunday or Monday. The COVID-19 pandemic has killed 863,679 people worldwide since surfacing in China late last year. More than 26 million cases have been registered. The United States has recorded the highest number of deaths with 185,752, followed by Brazil with 123,780, India with 67,376, Mexico 65,816, and Britain 41,514 fatalities. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and his entire family tested positive for coronavirus but have made a full recovery. The professional wrestler turned the world's top-paid actor said U.S. President Donald Trump's administration urges U.S. states to get ready to distribute a potential COVID-19 vaccine by November 1st, 2 days before the presidential election, which has been overshadowed by the virus and the economic crisis it provoked. The first international flight in more than 5 months lands in Beijing as a ban on foreign arrival cases. China's aviation authorities are allowing arrivals in Beijing under intense COVID-19 safety rules from Thailand, Cambodia, Pakistan, Greece, Denmark, Australia, Sweden and Canada, countries deemed low risk for cross-border infections. Her Excellency Tatiana Volavaya, Director General of the United Nations Office at Geneva, received His Excellency Ambassador Idris bin Abdul Rahman Al Khanjari, where he presented his credentials as the Sultan's permanent envoy to the United Nations and the international organizations in Geneva. His Excellency the Ambassador conveyed the greetings of the Sultan's government to His Excellency the Secretary General of the United Nations. He also stressed on the significance of continuous joint cooperation among the Sultanate, United Nations Office and international organizations, in addition to enhance it in various fields. The Sultanate, represented by the Ministry of Education, is taking part in the Global Scientific Contest First Global Challenge. This year, the competition line under the theme Connecting Communities. Some 99 countries are participating in the contest. The Sultanate's participating team comprised of 6 female students from the school of the Governorate of North Al-Batina. The competition aims to develop the students' skills in the fields of sciences, technology, engineering and mathematics. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television, and before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The State Council submits to His Majesty the Sultan the draft law on value-added tax. His Excellency the Minister of Health announces 256 new COVID-19 cases and points out that 60 to 70% of the government employees will be allowed to go back to work. His Excellency the Minister of Health emphasizes that Oman has joined the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunizations. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin from the Sultanate of Oman Television. From the entire news team and myself, we thank you for joining us, wish you a pleasant evening and have a good weekend. Good night.